What's up everyone, I'm Ronnie and this is The Delicious Cook. Today we're going to be making the best fried chicken ever. I'm going to give you guys a fail-proof recipe along with some tips and techniques that are going to give you a delicious fried chicken each and every time. Crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. You guys are going to love this, so stay tuned. So we're going to start by marinating our chicken in a dry rub. This is really going to help ensure that the chicken meat gets a lot of flavor before we actually fry it. So in a large mixing bowl, I want to add 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of paprika, and half a teaspoon of chili powder. Now I'm just going to give that a quick toss with my tongs. Alright, so our dry rub is ready. The next thing we want to do is add our chicken. So what I have here is a chicken breast, a drumstick, and a thigh with the skin on, and I've just sort of blotted it dry with a paper towel. So now all I'm going to do is just add it to my dry rub. Give the chicken a really good toss in the dry rub to make sure it gets thoroughly coated. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is cover this with plastic wrap and let it marinate in the fridge for about 4 hours. Overnight if possible. Alright, I'll see you guys back here when the chicken's ready to be battered up and fried. So the chicken has been marinating for about 4 hours now, and remember, you can always do this the night before and let it marinate overnight. But one thing that you always want to remember to do is temper and air dry your chicken. So about an hour before you're about to cook it, take it out of the fridge and take the cover off and just let it come to room temperature and air dry a little bit. That way when it comes time to cook it, it's going to be nice and moist and the skin is going to get nice and crispy. So right now we're going to make 2 different mixtures. We're going to make a buttermilk mixture and a dredge. So in 2 shallow bowls, in one of them you want to add 1 cup of buttermilk, 1 large egg, and a half a cup of cold water. And then just give that a really good mix. Now in our other bowl, we want to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 rough tablespoon of cornstarch. Then you just want to give that a quick mix. Alright, let's head back to the stove and set up our frying station and fry up our chicken. So as you can see, I have my frying station set up. Now in a cast iron pot or deep skillet, you want to add about 3/4 of an inch to an inch of oil, such as canola or peanut oil. I like using cast iron when frying because it retains heat much better, resulting in a crispier skin and a less oily chicken. Next, using a frying or a candy thermometer, you want to bring the oil to about 350 degrees. Once the oil has reached the proper temperature, you now want to add the chicken. Working with 1 piece at a time, dip the chicken piece into the buttermilk mixture, making sure to let any excess drip off. Next, you want to dredge the chicken piece in the flour mixture, and again, making sure to gently shake off any of the excess flour mixture. Then you just want to gently place the chicken piece into the hot oil, being careful not to splash or drop the chicken piece. Now you want to repeat this with the rest of the chicken pieces. You might want to do this in batches because if you overcrowd the pot, you're going to lower the temperature of the oil, resulting in soggy chicken. You want to fry the chicken pieces for about 12 to 14 minutes each, depending on the size of each piece. In addition, you want to flip the chicken every 2 minutes using tongs and readjust the heat of the stove if necessary so that the temperature of the oil stays between 300 and 325 degrees. Alright, so while our chicken is frying up, let's make our garlic jalapeno pepper vinegar. So we want to start out with 1 jalapeno, and all you want to do is de-seed it and give it a nice fine chop. Next, we want to mince up 3 to 4 cloves of fresh garlic. Alright, I'm going to head back to the stove and check up on my chicken breast and my drumstick and also fry up my chicken thigh. Look how beautiful and golden brown our chicken is. Alright, so our chicken thigh is frying up, let's finish our garlic jalapeno vinegar. So in a small jar that has a lid, you want to add half a cup of distilled white vinegar. Then you want to add about 2 tablespoons of sugar, a pinch of salt. Then you want to throw your chopped jalapenos and your minced garlic into the jar as well. And And lastly, screw the lid on tight and give it a really good vigorous shake until all the sugar has dissolved. All right, let's head back to the stove and check up on our last piece of chicken. So our fried chicken is done and it looks and smells delicious. All I'm gonna do now is let it cool down for a few minutes and then we're gonna give the all-important taste test. That is so delicious. It's crispy on the outside and oh so juicy on the inside. And the garlic jalapeno vinegar really makes it extra special. You guys are gonna love this fried chicken recipe. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me. I'm Ronnie Wu and I'll see you guys next time on The Delicious Cook.